going to do that as well. Okay, so hopefully you can we all see the presentation? Just nod, wave, whatever. I can see you all. I can see you all, so I can double check. Okay, sweet. Okay, right. Okay, so first round is going to be a test your knowledge. So just some general questions about Lost to kind of get us going. So here we go. Question 1, then let's test your knowledge on Lost. So, Sun teaches Walt to brush his teeth with what? Sun teaches Walt to brush his teeth with what? I'm also not going to linger too long on questions and stuff because there is a lot. I don't want you all to be here all night. Question 2. Who does Sawyer compare to Chewbacca? Who does Sawyer compare to Chewbacca? Oh, just to let you know, you don't need to send me your answers privately in the Zoom chat. Write them on a bit of paper, keep them to yourself, and then we will just look at them all later together. Question 3. What 2 words does Charlie write on the tape he wears on his fingers? What 2 words does Charlie write on the tape he wears on his fingers? Question 4. Flight 815 loses radio contact how many hours into takeoff? Flight 815 loses radio contact how many hours after takeoff? I will also say as well, some of these questions are quite hard if you're new to the show, but hopefully there's a mixture for everyone throughout the entire quiz. Okay, next question. Where did Jack get his tattoos? Where did Jack get his tattoos? Oh. Sorry, apologies for that. I just need to do something quickly. Right, okay. Next question then. Who is the captain of the freighter? Question 6. Who is the captain of the freighter? Question 7. What kind of aircraft is found on the island full of heroin? Question 7. What kind of aircraft is found on the island full of heroin? Question 8. Where does Ben wind up after cranking the big wheel? Question 8. Where does Ben wind up after cranking the big wheel? Question 9. Flight 815 crashed on which anniversary of Juliet coming to the island? Question 9. Flight 815 crashed on which anniversary of Juliet coming to the island? And the final question for this round, who is the 7th character to have a flashback? Who is the 7th character to have a flashback? There we go. So that's the end of the round. Oh, this pesky alarm. Let me... Okay, so we're running through the answers then of Lost Knowledge, part 1. So like I said, keep all your information to yourself and stuff for now. So Sun teaches Walt to brush his teeth with what? An aloe vera plant. Who does Saeed compare Chewbacca to? It was Jin. What 2 words does Charlie write on the tape he wears on his fingers? It was, excuse me, it was fate and then late. Flight 815 loses radio contact how many hours after takeoff? It was 6. Where did Jack get his tattoos? Phuket. Who is the captain of the freighter? Captain Galt. What kind of aircraft is found full of heroin? Well, it's on the island, sorry, full of heroin. It was a Beechcraft. Where does Ben wind up after cranking the big wheel? Tunisia. Flight 815 crashed on the anniversary. Which anniversary of Juliet coming to the island? It was her 3rd. And who is the 7th character to have a flashback? It was Saeed. So I know that round may be a bit tricky. I have tried to throw in questions that are easy or really difficult for everyone who's playing because I'm hoping for a nice mixed bunch of fans. So that was round 1. We're going to move on to round 2, which may be a bit easier than this one. So whose episode was it? So can you tell whose episode it is just from the title? Hopefully pretty simple. So question 1, and I've given you some help, look. Whose episode was Happily Ever After? Was it Saeed, Jack, or Desmond's? Number 2, whose episode is Dead is Dead? Was it John, Ben, or Richard? Question 3, whose episode is DOC? Claire, Sun, or Juliet? Question 4, whose episode is 3 minutes? Michael, Sawyer, or Mr. Echo? Question 5, whose episode is Every Man for Himself? Is it Sawyer, Charlie, or Desmond? Question 6, whose episode is Stranger in a Strange Land? Saeed, Jack, or Locke? Whose episode is One of Them? Is it Juliet, Saeed, or Boone? Whose episode is The Brig? Kate, Locke, or Sawyer? Whose episode is I Do? Is it Gin and Sons, Hugo's, or Kate's? And the final question of whose episode was it? Whose episode is the beginning of the end? Is it Hurley's, Jack's, or Locke's? There we go. Nice little short round, that one. Hopefully it wasn't too quick. But we will now go through the answers. So, whose episode was Happily Ever After? It was Desmond's. Whose episode is Dead is Dead? It was Ben's. Whose episode is DOC? It was Son's. Whose episode is 3 minutes? It was Michael's. Whose episode is Every Man for Himself? It was Sawyer's. Whose episode is Stranger in a Strange Land? It was Jack's. Whose episode is One of Them? It was Saeed's. Whose episode is The Brig? It was, of course, John Locke's. Whose episode is I Do? It was Kate. And whose episode is The Beginning of the End? It was Hurley's. So there we go. Hope that was a bit of an easier one for you. This is round 3. So in this round, I'm going to show you pictures of parts of characters, maybe their eyes or their mouth, and you just have to guess who the character is. So first up, who is this? What character is this? I think I may have caught you out on some of these. I'm hoping I have. Question 2, who is this? Question 3, who is this? Question 4, who is this? Question 5, who is this? Number 6, who is this? Question 7, Who is this? Question 8, who is this? Question 9, who is this? And the final one, who is this? Come on, you should all know whose lips those are. Cool, there we go. There's the end of who is this? So we'll go through the answers for this round as well. So who was this? It was, of course, Penny. Question 2 was, of course, Tom. Question 3 was Christian. Number 4 was Naomi. Number 5 was Juliet. Number 6 was Bernard. Number 7 was Nikki. Number 8 was, of course, the Man in Black. Number 9 was Shannon. And number 10 was Kimi. So this is one you are going to need your volume up probably quite loud. Well, not loud, but on and listening, because this is all sounds from Lost. So yeah, how well do you know Lost, and can you guess these sort of unique sounds from the show? Okay, so we're going to start off with number 1. Some of them are like times and place, like times, things that have happened at a certain time. So I'll take that answer as well. So here we go. This is number 1. I'll play it again. This might be a bit of a tricky round, but I wanted it that way. Question 2. Now this is only a 1-second clip, so I'll play this about 5 times, so listen up. Oh, that's not the end of the round, excuse me. Okay, I think that's enough of 2. If you're not going to get it from those, you're not going to get it at all. Number 3, what sound is this? Oh, bloody thing, sorry. Sound number 4, what sound is this?
Reward.
Okay, sound number 5. Bit of a hard one, I think. I think this might be the hardest one in there. I'll play it again. Okay, sound number 6. I'll play that again. Okay, sound number 7. Okay, sound number 8. Can see some people raving to these sounds. Sound number 9.
You picking up anything with yours?
Zip. Trying to get her a peek over this ridge as soon as I can. Sonar's pinging up something now. Hey, you want to switch feeds?
Roger that.
Sound number 10. Sorry, I'll do that again. Sound number 10. I agree, Dave. I think this is a harder round than I expected it was going to be. So that was the end of the round of Sounds of Lost. Now, you may kind of kick yourself on a lot of these sounds when you hear them. So sound number 1. Plane crashing over the island at the start of series 3. So like I said, some of these are kind of moments in time. So if you're willing to play properly, like obviously I can't see your answers. If you put something in the same kind of ballpark as that, give yourself a point. Number 2. Desmond turns the key. Probably one of the harder ones in there. There he is, turning the key again. Number 3. Ben moves the island. Sawyer gets a treat. So that's when he wins his treat when he's in the cage in series 3. Number 5, probably one of the harder ones. It is Hurley at the cabin. I originally had this cut, it actually had him yelling in it, and I think it's cut it off, which is why this is harder. Sound number 6. Charlie, a little bit of a signal. What a tune. Number 7. Of course, the Dharma Initiative orientation video. If you've written a certain one down, I'm hoping you all got this one. It was a Room 23 brainwashing video. Number 9.
You picking up anything with yours?
Zip. Trying to get her a peek over this ridge as soon as I can.
Oceanic 8.
Sonar's pinging up something now. Hey, you want to switch feeds?
Roger that.
Oh, number 7, Dave, was the Dharma Initiative orientation video. That lovely noise. Number 10 was The Others Whispers. So yeah, I think that was an easy round, but that's because I made the quiz. So I'm hoping it wasn't too hard for you guys. Oh, now it's time for a quick word from some sponsors.
Oceanic Airlines.
In the air since 1979.
Oceanic Airlines.
30 years with a perfect safety record.
Oceanic Airlines.
Oceanic Airlines.
Hi, I'm Hugo Reyes, owner of Mr. Clucks. Ever since I won the lottery, I've had nothing but good luck. And now, I share that luck with you, mates. On a recent vacation to Australia, I had a dream while camping under the stars of the outback. A dream of chicken.
Introducing Mr. Cluck's new Outback Roasters, made with the best free-range chicken in the business. Grilled to perfection with authentic Australian spices, corn on the cob, mashed potatoes, and a cold drink. Now that's an invention.
Rocky, dude. That's a beaut of a barbie. Cheers, mate.
Try the all-new Cluck's Outback Roaster Combo Meals, just $4.42.
Mr. Clucks, it's chicken heaven.
There you go, just a bit of fun there for you guys. If you couldn't see the videos playing, don't worry, it's just some fun videos from the show. Nothing important to the quiz. So we're going to do the next round, which is last words. So all you have to do is guess what this character's who the character is from their last words. Pretty simple, I think, and hope. So here we go. Question 1. Whose last words were, "Do you know her?" Whose last words were, "Do you know her?" Question 2. Whose last words were, "Wherever you go, Widmore he'll find you"? Whose last words were, "Wherever you go, Widmore, he'll find you"? Question 3. Whose last words were, "Who are you"? Whose last words were, "Who are you?" Question 4. Whose last words were, "For what?" Whose last words were, "For what?" I agree, Amy. This is harder when you can't hear them speak it. Question 5. Whose last words were, "We can't ever get fire"? I think that should be even, actually. I think I've typed that in wrong. We can't even get fire. Apologies. Whose last words were, "We can't even get fire"? Number 6. Whose last words were, "Tell my sister I love her"? Whose last words were, "Tell my sister I love her"? Number 7. Whose last words were, "Walt, Walt"? Whose last words were, "Walt, Walt"? Obviously, they were said with a bit more energy than how I'm saying them. Number 8. Whose last words were, "I'm not allowed to have chocolate before dinner"? Whose last words were, "I'm not allowed to have chocolate before dinner"? Question 9. Whose last words were, "I have to tell you something, it's really, really important"? Whose last words were, "I have to tell you something, it's really, really important"? And the final question, whose last words were, "They are coming"? Whose last words were, "They are coming"? Okay, that was the end of our round. That was 10 questions on whose last words was it? Okay, so here we go. This is number 1. Oh, Team Shannon wants me to repeat them. As you can see, they're here on the answers, Shannon, so I won't go back and repeat them. So here we go. Whose last words were, "Do you know her"? They were John's. They were John Locke's last words before Ben strangled him. Number 2, whose last words were, "Wherever you go, Widmore, he'll find you"? They were Keamy's. Number 3, whose last words were, "Who are you?" They were Michael's. Whose last words were, "For what?" They were Ana Lucia's. Whose last words were, "We can't even get fire"? They were Neil's, when he got shot with a nice flaming arrow. Question 6. Whose last words were, "Tell my sister I love her"? Of course, they were Naomi's. Number 7. Whose last words were, "Walt, Walt"? They were Shannon's. Whose last words were, "I'm not allowed to have chocolate before dinner"? They were, of course, Charlotte's. Question 9. I have something to tell you. Sorry, no. I have to tell you something. It's really, really important. They were Juliet's last words. And number 10, whose last words were, "They are coming"? They were Jacob's. Okay, so that is the whose last words round over with. Now this one, I think this might be more for die-hard Lost fans, this round. This is outside of Lost. So all the questions I'm going to show you are about outside of Lost, nothing really related to in the show. Okay, it's a bit of a different one. So first question for outside of Lost. How many Emmys did Lost win during its run? How many Emmys did Lost win during its run? This is just for the show. Just to clear that up, this is just for the show. Question 2. Dominic Monaghan shares the same birthday as which other cast member? Question 3. Who sings the song that blasts over the opening scene of season 2? Who sings the opening song that blasts over season 2? Question 4. Yeonjun Kim and which other cast member graduated from the British American Drama Academy together? Question 5. Which cast members dated in real life during the run of the show? This is question 5. Which 2 cast members dated in real life during the run of the show? Next question. Which actor had a locked mailbox to have their scripts delivered safely to their home? Team Shannon, no, you don't get extra points for both answers of who dated who. So this is question 6. Which actor had a locked mailbox to have their scripts delivered safely to their home? The next question. Which cast member used to walk 12 miles a day to set? So which cast member used to walk to set 12 miles a day? Question 8. With this question, I will take a ballpark of the answer of what is online. So how much did the pilot episode cost? As in, how much did it cost to produce? Yes, for outside the show, I want the answers to be of the actor's name, not the character, the actor, the actual actor. So sorry, this is question 8. How much did the pilot episode cost? Might be a bit of a tricky one, this. Who was offered the role of Libby before Cynthia Watrose? Question 9. Which actress? Who was offered the role of Libby before Cynthia? And the final question, what was the first name of the show before it became Lost? So what was the original name of the show in its first drafted script? And I only found this out by doing this quiz, because I didn't know either. So final question, what was the name of the show before it became Lost? Okay, that was the end of Outside of Lost. So first up, how many Emmys did Lost win during its run? 11. Dominic Monaghan shares the same birthday as Ian Somerhalder. Ooh, this is okay. Who sings a song that blasts over the opening of season 2? It was Cass Elliot or Mama Cass. And number 4, it was Cynthia Watrow, who attended the same British American Drama Academy as Young Jung Kim. Question 5, which cast members dated in real life during the run of the show? It was, of course, Evangeline Lilly and Dominic Monaghan, Kate and Charlie. Someone just put in the chat that Maggie and Ian dated as well. Is that true? Didn't know that. Next question. Which actor had a locked mailbox to have their scripts delivered safely to their home? It was Jorge Garcia. And which cast member walked 12 miles a day to set? It was Terry O'Quinn. Number 8, so like I said, I'll take a ballpark on this one. It was between $10 to $14 million. is how much the pilot cost to make. So anything in there, get a point. Who was offered the role of Libby before Cynthia? Jennifer Jason Leigh was offered the role, apparently. And what was the first name of the show before it became Lost? It was called Nowhere. Okay. Next round. What flash? So, is the following screenshot from a flash back, a flash forward, or a flash sideways? So I hope you know your flashes, because this is a hard one. Okay, question 1. Is this a flash forward, a flash back, or a flash sideways? Number 2, is this a flash back, a flash forward, or a flash sideways? Oh, so if you've just joined the quiz a bit late and you're playing along at home, just use a pen and paper and write your answers down, and then I'll reveal the answers after each round. This is just a bit of a fun test your knowledge on Lost. Next question, is this a flash forward, back, or sideways? This is question 3. Number 4, is this a flash back, a flash forward, or a flash sideways? Next question, is this a flash back, a flash forward, or a flash sideways? Next one, is this a flash forward, a flash back, or a flash sideways? Next one, is this a flash back, a flash forward, or a flash sideways? Next one, is this a flashback, a flash forward, or a flash sideways? I know, Amy, the more I say flash, I'm getting a bit annoyed at myself saying it over and over. Next one, is it a flashback, a flash forward, or a flash sideways? Next one, flashback, flash forward, or flash sideways? There we go. End of which flash? So Kate was in a flash forward. Jin was in a flashback. Claire was in a flash sideways. Number 4 was a flash sideways. Christian was in a flashback. Saeed was in a flash sideways. And Sun was in a flash forward. Hurley is in a flash sideways. Number 9, Jack's in a flashback. And Sawyer is also in a flash sideways. See, now people are saying in the chat, what episode is that from Kate? This one. I'm pretty sure this is the forward. Wait. Wait, I could be wrong. No, the host's wrong. Oh my God. Oh my God, the chat's blowing up. Wait, I think it's a finale 2. That's from the party when Jack finally arrives. It's from the concert during the finale. All right, everyone. God, sorry. Stop the chat. Yeah, okay, that is. Yeah, that. Oh no, that was my fault. Okay, everyone get a point on that one. I messed up, so everyone give yourself a point on Kate, please. That's my fault. Oh my God, everyone's talking. Looks like it's from the end. Yeah, okay. Oh, stop talking, guys. I know I've messed it up. And which is the one with Jack holding the drink? Oh God, I don't even know where all these are from. I haven't written the episodes down. I don't know. Let's say the Ajira flight. I don't know. Can't remember, I'm sorry. All right, let's move on from flashes. Oh, we have some more sponsors.
Since the dawn of time, man has been curious, imagining all that is possible. The Hanzo Foundation, reaching out to a better tomorrow. Discover the experience for yourself. Call 1-877-HANS-ORG.
Get lost in the world. Destiny calls. Fly Ajira Airways.
Okay, so the chat has just been blowing up. People think the one with Jack and his drink is from LAX or from LAX episode, but I can't remember. I made this quiz like 2 weeks ago, guys, and then I couldn't make it work. So anyway, next round. True or false? Here we go. So the following facts are about the show. Are they going to be true or are they false? Bit of a 50-50 one here, so hopefully a bit easier if you're finding this quiz difficult. So, true or false? More than 50 babies portrayed Aaron over the course of the series. Is it true or false that more than 50 babies portrayed Aaron over the course of the series? Question 2, is this true or false? Hurley is the first person to discover the food storage in the Swan Station. Hurley is the first person to discover the food storage in the Swan Station. True or false? True or false? Parts of the plane were used as percussion instruments and can be heard in the soundtrack. So is it true or false that parts of the plane were used as percussion instruments and can be heard in the soundtrack? And what a soundtrack it is. Question 4. Naveen Andrews came up with the idea of the Saeed and Shannon love story. Is that true or is that false? Naveen Andrews came up with the idea of the Saeed and Shannon's love story. True or false? Next question. Matthew Fox was the first actor to be cast in the show. Is that true or is that false? Matthew Fox was the first actor to be cast in the show. True or false? Next question. Richard and Desmond are the only two characters on the island who never met at any time. Is this true or false? Richard and Desmond are the only two characters on the island who never meet at any time. True or false? Next question. Jorge Garcia appears in every episode of the show. Is that true or false? Jorge Garcia appears in every episode of the show. Is that true or false? Yes, by this question, I mean a character who has been in the show in every episode. Not lived to the end of the series, but has appeared in every single episode produced. Next question. Forrest Whitaker was originally cast as Sawyer in the show, but dropped out. Is that true or false? Forrest Whitaker was originally cast as Sawyer in the show, but dropped out. Next question. Walt's dog Vincent is actually called Wilson. True or false? Walt's dog Vincent is actually called Wilson. Is this true or false? Next question. Evangeline Lilly took the original Dear Mr. Sawyer prop letter from season 1, but it burnt in a house fire. Is that true or false? Evangeline Lilly took the original Dear Mr. Sawyer prop letter from season 1, but burnt it in a house fire. Sorry, but it burnt in a house fire. Is that true or false? There we go. End of true or false.
System failure.
No. Sorted that out. Right. So, More than 50 babies portrayed Aaron over the course of the series. That was true. That is a lot of little babies. Hurley was the first person to discover the food storage in the Swan Station. That was false. It was Kate. And parts of the plane were used as percussion instruments and can be heard in the soundtrack. That is, of course, true. I'm not sure what parts, but they're in there. Question 4. Naveen Andrews came up with the idea of the Saeed and Shannon's love story. That was true. Matthew Fox was the first actor to be cast in the show. That was false. I believe it was Ian who plays Boom. That's what I read online. And next question. Richard and Desmond are the only two characters on the island who never meet any time. That was true. Jorge Garcia appears in every episode. Wait, that should say false. Because I know he doesn't. Okay, it's false. He doesn't appear in every episode because no one does. Oh, hello, the chat's burn up. What's happened? It's not true, Team Shannon, it's not true. I messed it up. Sorry, it's false. He did not appear in every episode. Neither did any cast member. Oh, wait, hold on. Forrest Whitaker was apparently originally cast as Sawyer in the show, but dropped out. I mean, that would have been, that's what I read online. That was part of another Lost quiz that I found to steal and help me make this one. So that would have been a weird choice. Walt's dog Vincent is actually called Wilson. That's false. The actual dog who plays Vincent is a female dog. And I can't remember her name. Madison, yes it was. Oh no. Okay. And the last question. Evangeline Lilly took the original Dear Mrs. Sawyer prop letter from season 1, but lost it in a house fire. That was true. Don't know if she had permission, but she might have got a bollocking for that one. There we go. So who said it? This is another one that has audio. So you will need to listen carefully to the sound bites and tell me who said it. Simple, I hope. So first up then, who said it?
What you got there?
Who said that?
What you got there?
Okay. Number 2, who said this?
Look, I only took her money. It ain't my fault your dad overreacted.
Who said that?
Look, I only took her money. It ain't my fault your dad overreacted.
Okay, question 3. Who said this?
This thing goes down, I'm sticking with you.
Who said this?
This thing goes down, I'm sticking with you.
Number 4. Who said this?
Oh man, you got peanut butter on it.
Who said that?
Oh man, you got peanut butter on it.
Number 5. Who said this? Oh, hello. Sorry, number 5.
Why did you bring me out here?
Who said that?
Why did you bring me out here?
Okay. Number 6. Who said this?
Am I supposed to be happy for you over here for your huge opportunity?
So who said that? Oh my God.
Am I supposed to be happy for you over here for your huge opportunity?
Number 7. Who said this?
You can always spot the newbies.
Who said this?
You can always spot the newbies.
Number 8. Who said this?
You sure you don't want some tea?
Who said this? Oh, for...
You sure you don't want some tea? You sure you don't want some tea?
Number 9. Who said this? Oh, for God's sake. Sorry. Number 9. Oh my God. Why does he keep doing that? Number 9. This is number 9.
We're here to watch, Jack.
Who said this?
We're here to watch, Jack. We're here to watch, Jack.
So who said that? And the final one, who said this?
I guess this stuff does work.
Who said this? Number 10.
I guess this stuff does work.
There we go. Now it's the end of the round. So who said this? We'll run through the answers then. So who do we think said this?
What you got there?
It was, of course, Ana Lucia. Number 2.
Look, I only took her money. It ain't my fault your dad overreacted.
It was, of course, Anthony Cooper. Number 3.
This thing goes down, I'm sticking with you.
It was, of course, Boone. Number 4.
Oh, man. You got peanut butter on it.
That was Dave. Number 5.
Why did you bring me out here?
That was, of course, Juliet. Number 6.
Am I supposed to be happy for you over here for your huge opportunity?
That was, of course, Michael. Number 7.
You can always spot the newbies.
Of course, that was Charlie. Number 8.
You sure you don't want some tea?
That was Bernard. Number 9.
We're here to watch, Jack.
That was Cindy. And number 10.
I guess this stuff does work.
That was, of course, Arts. Just before he blew up. There we go. This is the final round now. Lost Knowledge Part 2. I think this might be a bit difficult than the first one we did, but yeah, here we go. Last round of the Big Lost Quiz. So, which college does Alex want to go to? Which college does Alex want to go to? Question 2. How much money did Desmond need to purchase a boat so he could enter Widmore's boat competition? Question 2. How much money did Desmond need to purchase a boat so he could enter Widmore's boat competition? This is question 3. Which Egyptian goddess is depicted in the statue above Jacob's lair? Which Egyptian goddess is depicted in the statue above Jacob's lair? Question 4. Where does the Black Rock pick up Richard? So where does the Black Rock pick up Richard? This is question 4. Question 5. What year did Jorge Goodspeed bring Roger and Ben Linus to the island? Question 5. What year did Horace Goodspeed bring Roger and Ben Linus to the island? Question 6. What book is Jacob reading as John Locke is pushed from the window by his father? I have no idea on this one personally. Question 6. What book is Jacob reading as John Locke is pushed from a window by his father? Okay, next question. Number 7. In episode 22 of season 3, who makes a voice cameo as the pilot? In episode 22 of season 3, who makes a voice cameo as the pilot? Okay, next question. Number 8. Which city in Alabama, did did Anthony Cooper con Sawyer's parents? So this is question 8. In what city in Alabama did Anthony Cooper con Sawyer's parents? Okay. Question 9. What was the name of the woman who killed herself jumping off the boat wearing chains? So question 9, what was the name of the woman who killed herself jumping off the boat wearing chains? Here we go. The final question. How old was Walt when he arrived on the island? So the final question of the big lost quiz. How old was Walt when he arrived on the island? There we go. End of the round. Let's have some answers for Lost Knowledge Part 2. So, which college does Alex want to get into? It was Yale. How much money did Desmond need to purchase a boat so he could enter Widmore's boat competition? $42,000. Which Egyptian goddess is depicted in the statue, whatever its status, above Jacob's lair? Sorry. Question 4. Where does the Black Rock pick up Richard? Canary Islands. What year did Horace Goodspeed bring Roger and Ben Linus to the island? It was 1973. What book is Jacob reading as Locke is pushed from a window by his father? It was Everything That Rises Must Converge. Question number 7. In episode 22 of season 3, who makes a voice cameo as the pilot? It was Damon Lindelof. Number 8. Which city in Alabama did Anthony Cooper con Sawyer's parents? It was Jasper. What was the name of the woman who killed herself by jumping off the boat wearing chains? It was Regina. And how old was Walt when he arrived on the island? He was 10. He was 10. So there we go. Big Lost quiz. All done. Hope it wasn't too hard for you all. Apologies if it was. God. Yeah, just thought I'd put something fun together, test your knowledge. I know it might have been a bit difficult or whatever. But like I said, keep all your scores. I'll make a post in a second on the event. So pop your scores in the comments and then we can see who's the best Lost fan from this big quiz. Hope you all enjoyed it. I did. I had fun doing it. So yeah, so there we go. Thank you all for playing. See you later. Cheers.